Hello, everyone, and welcome to this audio podcast. This audio podcast is part of the Calyx report edition. This audio podcast is part of a Bostix SandZtorm. This audio podcast as part of a Squadron Communique, and this audio podcast as part of a Storm and Bostix production. In this audio podcast, a little bit around the treatment aspects around nephrotoxic nephritis and glomerulonephritis. So therapeutic options for human glomerulonephritis applicable to all cases include symptomatic treatments and strategies to delay progression, immunosuppression. To delay progression, immunosuppression is appropriate or has been appropriate for selected cases, and renal replacement therapy or RRT with hemodialysis or renal transplantation or transplantation is needed or required for a number of recipients or patients. Molecular therapies are designed to target the main mediators of damage, hold great promise, and are effective in several experimental settings, but have yet to achieve translational into the clinic into clinical settings or clinical practice. Routine clinical follow-up and the use of angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitor in recipients with proteinuria, for example, exceeding 1 gram daily, are advantageous. Findings also suggest and inform that more complete sort of blockade of the renin-angiotensin converting enzyme system by the use of ACE angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitors and an angiotensin receptor antagonist is superior to either agent alone for prevention of progressive forms of forms of CKD, forms of CKD in around where GN or glomerulonephritis are concerned among patients or recipients also with proteinuria. Other treatments to preclude other potentially primary conditions, other conditions or symptomologies has slowed progression in experimental models of glomerulonephritis, but available trial data are insufficient to be recommended specifically for renal protection. Currently used immunosuppressive therapies for human glomerulonephritis are not always uniformly effective and are frequently effective only in several types of GN, owing to their ability to inhibit the pro-inflammatory effects of cytokines known to promote glomerular inflammation, including interleukin 1 beta or IL-1 beta and tumor necrosis factor alpha. That draws this audio podcast to a close. This audio podcast is part of the Calyx report edition. This audio podcast as part of a Bostix SandZtorm, and this audio podcast as part of a Squadron Communique, and this audio podcast as part of a Storm and Bostix production.